Hello, World History and AP Modern World History students and families. Thank you for joining me again, Miss Mate, on another World History skill. Today we're going to be focusing on a spice or a spice tea chart. Many schools focus on this name as a spice. If you do a Google search for it, you can find many examples. I kind of like to separate the I and the T, so I like to make it a spice tea chart. This helps me in the classroom, and I think this has been easier for students. A spice tea chart stands for social, political, interactions with environment, culture, economics, and technology. What you're going to be noticing in our world history is you get these really big prompts. Let me give you an example. You're going to get these really big questions that are kind of hard if you don't know how to break it down. So these are some sample questions from Unit 1. So if you have begun your summer reading, you might already have some ideas on how to answer some of these questions. But let me kind of show you a trick. So this type of question, it comes up all the time in our test or on AP exams. I will do another video on test action words and kind of test breakdown words. So don't you worry about that. But for right now, I'm not going to focus on that. But I will do it just in it as modeling in this example. So here you have evaluate the extent to which cultural and economic changes affected Islamic states between 12 to 1400. Wow, that is a big question. But when we know how to break it down, it becomes pretty easy. When we see evaluate, you have to make a judgment, right? You're gonna be judging what are the changes that are happening. Okay, so there's many ways that you can answer this question, not just one. This is higher level thinking, so we're not just right memorizing, right, that this is the answer every time. There are many answers, and it just depends on what you're interested in and kind of what you read about and what are the examples that you want to focus on. Now, there are some key ones that you will probably use, but there are going to be, there's not one way to do this. So, evaluate means judge. The extent means how much. So, judge how much, right? Judge how much the Islamic states are changing culturally and economically between the time period of the 12 to 1400s, that first time period that I covered in our first video. So it's asking us about culture and economic changes. Wow. So that's a big word. So we use the spice teacher to help us kind of focus in on our answers. It doesn't seem as big when I have to write, so I'm focusing on cultural and economic. All right, so if you're saying about culture, what are the examples that I should be thinking about? All right, let me check my chart. For culture, we're looking for religious. Religion could be belief system, ideologies. We're looking at arts. Okay, what are the is it on caves? Is it on big tablets? Is it Renaissance? Is it a theme? We're looking at fashion, food, music. What is the style? Are there prints that are there colors that are known for that region? What are their cuisine like? What type of music, instruments do they play? And then language and writing. So so when you break it down, oh, what are the culture changes? Okay, so I know that I'm thinking about how is their religion changing? How is art or fashion changing? How is new foods from new markets and new trade changing what people are eating, right? So when you are asking about that, right, that makes it a lot easier to answer. Same thing with economics. Ooh, okay, economics, that's a big topic. So, but when I break it down into the spice tea chart, that helps me kind of know what to look for when I'm reading or when I'm answering. Okay, so if they're asking about economic changes, I need to give a changing about how is farming or agriculture changing. How is trade expanding and changing? What are the new methods? Who are they changing, trading with? How is banking and money changing? Are they going from coins or a trade system to more of a paper money or far distance banking, right? These are new economic systems. How is money changing? Enslavement and labor systems, right? So we don't have enslavement anymore. That's one of the great changes that we are, right? But how is work systems, right, changing in these time periods? And then later we'll talk about industrialization. So what I would like for you to focus on is you should be ready to come into my classroom and be able to fill out this chart on your own. Now, it's not enough to read over this chart one time. You should have this is your bread and butter, okay? So if you want to be successful, what I would do is I would create your take out a notebook, a piece of paper, or Google Docs on your phone, doesn't matter, right? But you should be thinking, okay, social, right? Remember the acronym SPICE T. That's the acronym we use. S stands for social, P stands for political, I stands for interactions with environment, C stands for culture, E stands for economics, T for technology. Now, if you Google it, some people are going to put technology into interactions with environment. That often happens, but I love to have it on its own. So when you come in at the beginning of August, right in the mid August to my classroom, in the first week I am going to give you guys a pre-test on did you practice these skills. So you should be able, when you get a blank chart like this, you should be able to give me three. So when I'm asking for social examples, what are those three things that you should be thinking about? When we're asking for political things, what are the things that I should be looking for? You should be able to do that for the whole entire chart. So for your first week of summer break in our summer program, or if you're joining the classes of Modern World History and you're practicing these skills later as this year begins, you should be able to learn these. When I say learn this, you should not have to think about it or second guess it. You need to look over it more than once. You should be able to touch these topics. And when I say social, you should know what type of examples you should be looking for. Okay? If again you have any questions or if you want to reach out, please email me at mmate@kipcolumbus.org. Okay? You may also have a parent sign us up for a study session or reach out with more questions. I appreciate you guys joining in. Hope you're enjoying wherever you are with this curriculum. Have a wonderful day.